the perfect start to any day. A couple of cups of coffee from your local community village run shop. Isn't that lovely? Anyway, I'm about to go on a walk, so well, I'm going to drink some coffee first, so if you'd care to come along, please do. But first, I'm going to drink this in a really pretty little location. I've never been here before. It's a little village. I don't know where it even is. It's called Mells. It's down by a place by Bristol, and it's got everything. It's got this, a cute little sort of stone-made structure with a gorgeous wooden roof. It's got a beautiful little babbling brook which comes underneath here and then joins the river. And today we're going to walk along the river and explore. So if you want to come along, I'll drink my coffee and we'll set off. Lovely. It is a beautiful, crisp, misty morning, sort of end of autumn, beginning of winter. And I've driven about an hour from my house to a place I've never been before. It is in Somerset, which is a very flat part of Britain. Some people refer to it as my beloved Somerset. It's much loved by some people, and I can see why, because listen. There's nothing, no human sound, but what you can hear, apart from my phone going off, what you can hear is the mist is hitting the trees and falling as drops of water. It's not rain, that is the mist hitting the trees and falling to the ground. And so what I'm going to do today is we're going to follow a path that Mike has found. Thank you, Mike. He's found a path which goes along this river, goes to a place called Frome, and then comes back again. So it's not that long a walk, but there's a river that goes through Frome called the River Frome. And recently we've been walking along the Cotswold canals and there's a River Frome there. I'm not sure if it's the same one, but we thought, hey, let's come and look at this one, see if it is the same one, see if it joins up. So who knows? Let's try and find out the mystery of the River Frome, where it starts, where it goes. But for the moment, let's walk this way where those lovely people have been walking. We started in the village by the shop having a cup of coffee, and you had to walk along the road a little bit to find the path along the river. And when we found the river, the first thing I noticed was that it split. There's a little wall up here and it just split the river in two, and I couldn't work out why that was. And I think I've found out. It sort of took it along a race here and it goes through a sluice there. So basically, at some point in the past, there was a water wheel here or something. Something went on in the past, I don't know what. But there's some remains over there. And you know what? This is what I love. Don't do any research, just wander along and see what you find. But I knew this used to be a mining area. Traditionally, this was, I don't know what they mined even. But it was mining, so I'm thinking they probably used the water to power something to do with the mining. And sure enough, within 2 seconds of finding the river, we found proof. I have no idea what this is. Obviously the remains of a chimney. It's mainly been consumed by ivy. Fascinating. I hope we find more and work out what that's for. Because they had water, but they've also got a chimney, so I guess that was a steam engine of some sort. But why would you need a steam engine if you've got a water supply nearby? Confusing. What a very nice waterfall. There's something over here. I'm going to go and explore. I don't know what all this, I don't know what's been going on in this valley, but there's a huge wall in front of me with a fireplace and I don't know what, cupboards or windows cut into it, and a huge gap, sort of gash cut in the ground. I have no idea what this place was. I hope there's a sign. I hope there's a sign somewhere that'll tell me. If not, if you're watching this and you know what happened, is this the River Mel? So it's the River Mel. The Mells. We've just left the village of Mells. If you have any idea what happened here, could you let me know in the comments? I'd be ever so grateful. We've been walking along the river valley now for about half a mile, and normally when I'm next to a river or a canal, I must confess my eye is drawn to it. That's all you can look at. I mean, you can hear it just behind Mike, and I'm hoping it doesn't fall into the river. But on this valley, on this walk, I haven't been looking at the water. I've been looking at the remains, because we've found so far remains of a chimney and a building that could have been an old mill, and there's lots of walls. There what look like a big sort of house structure back there, and I've just found here what I thought was a cliff, a long cliff, but in fact, if you look at it carefully, it's man-made. It's a wall, and again, there's fireplaces and niches, little holes. They were used as cupboards or something, and so it shows you that obviously a while back this was a thriving industrial centre, but now it's just a really quiet bit of sort of countryside. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Angkor Wat, you know, the famous classic cliche, the tourist trap. In Cambodia, there's like all these temples. And again, a long time ago, they were full of people, full of civilization and industry. And now they're all overgrown with moss and trees and creepers, just like this. So there you go. Angkor Wat was about a 13-hour flight away. This was a 1-hour drive away from my house. And it's got the same feel to it. Not quite the same weather, sadly. I have consulted the magic smartphone, and it tells us that we have to go this way, so we're going to follow the river. Onward, my friends. You've got to see this. You've got to come and see this. Mike tells me off for getting carried away sometimes. Apparently I say every area is like paradise, so it's amazing. I would say this place, it's like a fairy tale wood. Honestly, I walked in it and you would half expect to find Snow White or Red Riding Hood or a wolf or some bears. It's the stuff of fairy tales and legends. And to give it atmosphere, listen. There's nothing but birds. Oh, my phone constantly going off. There's nothing but birds, and the mist is hitting the trees and it's dripping onto the ground. That's not rain, you can hear that. It's mist dripping from the trees. Hang on, shh, I'll stop talking. Very nice. So I've just walked through the fairy tale wood. God, I did get overexcited about the whole sort of moodiness and loveliness. And look what we've found. It looks to me like a bear or a wolf has been sharpening its claws on this tree. And if that's not good enough, just beyond the tree, there's like a fairy tale wooden bridge where you would really expect a troll to be living underneath it and some billy goat's gruff to be trapping over the top. Mind you, you've got to remember that I have written a lot of kids' books, so I do think a lot about kids' stories, so perhaps I'm showing my own obsession. Perhaps I'm the only one that thinks like this. But to me, it's like I've walked into a weird fairy tale sort of Disney world. There's also a really nice willow tree just over there. It just gets better and better. We were just talking about how lovely this place is, and Mike said, wouldn't it be nice to bring your grandkids here? And then said, you could play havoc with their imaginations, you could tell them some stories. And I remembered something. When I was a little kid, like yay high, my parents used to take us to a place called Wandlebury Woods, which was very much like this. And one day we went there when it was dark, and I was the youngest, I was with my older brothers, and they told me that there were wolves that lived in the woods. And then one day walking through in the dark, and I went past this bush and I saw a pair of red lights. And if I'm honest, to this day, I still kind of think that was a wolf, but I know it was actually my brothers holding torches to scare me. But isn't that awesome? What a lovely, lovely place to be. Before I cross the bridge, I just want to point out, there is some perpetual motion going on in the water. There's a branch that has been moving all the time I've been standing here. I don't know why, but it's bobbing up and down. It's crazy. tree is full of like the remains of swings, and they're all tantalisingly out of reach. There's one there that looks fantastic. I'd love to have a go, but I know that if I tried, I'd end up falling in the river and getting cold and wet. I have just had a thought, bing, light bulb thought. Normally, in my work life, I get to travel quite a lot. I travel around the world quite a bit. For the last sort of 10 years, I've done a lot of travelling. And what that means is that normally, at this point in the year, I would probably have been away for about 2 or 3 months, and I would have visited, I don't know, China, Africa, America, Europe, Middle East, all that sort of stuff. And what happens when you go to one of these places, because I tend to go there for like 1 or 2 weeks at a time, is I always think, this is a really exciting place, I may never come here again. So it's almost like I put on my sort of special appreciate how beautiful everything is goggles. You know, enjoy the wonders of the world because you may never see this again. But this year, because of the cursed COVID, I haven't been anywhere since March. But what I have learned, and I've been reminded today, is that you don't need to travel the world. As long as you just put on your appreciating the beauty of life goggles, you can be anywhere. As I said, I keep on saying this, I'm only an hour's drive from my house, and I'm walking around looking at this place as if it's a foreign country that I'll never revisit. And I think that's why I'm finding everything so good. Yeah, the ancient remains made me think of Cambodia. Fairy tale wood reminded me of a place in Germany I've been. This is like somewhere you could get in Africa. You know, it's, wow, yeah. Hey, what have I learned today? I'll tell you what I've learned today. You don't need to travel to see the world. Just stay still and look around you, and it comes to you. That might be pretentious bollocks, or it might be really deep. I'm not sure which. Let me know your thoughts. Gorgeous. Oh, this is just gorgeous. Just, I know I say gorgeous too much, but it really is. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. When I was a kid, there was a Russian TV show for kids called The Singing Ringing Tree. Look it up on YouTube, I bet they've still got it. It was crazy, but for some reason this makes me think of it. I mean, look, a single tree all by itself. A very pretty tree all by itself, but still a little bit crazy. And there's a bridge just next to it. Like I keep on saying, we're in fairy tale land. We have been walking for ages, and we've only travelled like 1.5 miles or 2 miles or something. It's just so gorgeous. We just keep on looking and stopping and looking and stuff and filming. But the main point is, checking my watch, we've run out of time. We were hoping to walk all the way along to a beautiful little town called Frome, but instead we've stopped at a beautiful stone bridge. So we're going to turn around here and walk back. But then we're going to drive to Frome. See? I love it. We can just cheat. But so, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that stroll. I certainly did. Like as I said, it's just really nice to look at the world and think, I don't have to travel very far to find really, really lovely things. There you go, thought for the day. And I will leave that thought because there's a car coming and I don't want to get run over. Hang on.